Hello and welcome to the Richmond Athletic Ground in the shadow of Twickenham Stadium, where the undefeated Richmond welcome Sedgley Tigers. I'd like to apologise if there's any drop frames or any sort of impact on the quality of the picture. We are broadcasting from a concrete bunker, which makes it slightly difficult. The lineup, we'll go through the lines up for the home team and for your Tigers shortly. So the lineups for Richmond is at number 1, Theo Bavakwa, number 2, Callum Torpe, 3, Luke Spring, 4, Jake Monsoon, who is the vice-captain today, number 5, Max Murphy, 6, Ethan Benson, 7, Toby Saysell, 8, Sam Pym, 9, Luke Jones, who's the captain today, 10, Lewis Dennett, 11, Chidera Obona, 12, Sam Dardis, 13, James Langston, 14, Frank McMillan, and 15, Callum Grieve. The replacements for Richmond today are Will Coffey at 16, number 17 is Christian Freeman, 18 is George Nugent, 19, Alex O'Meara, 20, Alex Schwartz, and the director of rugby for Richmond is Rob Powell. Okay, and now the moment you've been waiting for. This is your Tigers lineup today. Starting at loose head prop is John Blanchard, hooker Adam Mallinson, tight head Ty Ramott, number 4 Bob Burtwell, who's the vice captain today and starting as captain out on the pitch, number 5 Connor James, 6 Isaac Deans, who's the only change to the pack today from last week, replacing the injured Bremer Murray, 7 Lewis Bradley, 8 Tom Ailes, number 9 is Matt Sturgis, 10 Warren Seals, 11 and the top try scorer for the league this season so far, Reece Henderson. At number 12 you've got Ollie Glass, 13 is Matt Law, 14 is Andy Riley, 15 back with Sedgley after a bit of time away with Sale Sharks is Charlie Wardle, 16 on the replacements is Austin Downman, 17 is James O'Connell, 18 is Danny Rylance, and number 19, also returning from Sale Sharks duty, is Will Wotton. And then number 20, your record appearance holder for Sedgley Tigers, and your captain today is Matt Riley. The match officials today, just before we get started, is Adam Wookie is the referee in the centre. And then the assistant referees are Pedro Diogo and Andrew McNeely. Okay, the teams are just getting ready to come out on the pitch. We're just getting the guard of honour from the Richmond youth teams getting ready for. So the Tigers come into this game on a little bit of a poor run of form, but we're hoping for something better today. Last time they played Richmond here was the last game of the previous season, which ended up as a 50-18 loss. But last season it was 1 each total on games, with Sedgley winning the first game of last season away at home. Richmond come in with a really good home record, so they're currently unbeaten with 9 wins and 1 draw. The only draw against Dings Crusaders. Last time out they won 2015 against Plymouth Albion away. Really impressive to go to Plymouth and take away a win, especially in the cold November months. They're second in the league on 45 points, and at the moment they have the lowest points conceded at home, which is 60 points. So we're going to have to try very hard today, Sedgley, to break down that defence. They're doing well on attack with an average of 22 points per away game and 31 per home match. So we're looking forward to it. And now we have the Sedgley Tigers team coming out in their black away strip today. Bob Burtwell leading them out onto the pitch. Now, as we just wait for the Richmond team to come out, just a few players on their side to keep an eye on. Jake Monsoon, number 4, is apparently a very big hitter. Fullback is the second highest point scorer in the league with 109 points so far this season. Looks like it'll be Sedgley kicking off right to left today. Warren Seals gets ready to kick off Sedgley Park in this very important match against Richmond. And they kick long into the Richmond 22. A little bit of a fumble there in the catch, but they managed to secure the ball. And Richmond look to clear the ball from their own 22 out the back from number 10, Lewis Donner. The line out goes just into the Sedgley halfway line, so slight reduction in metres from the kickoff. Good line out there through Ty Ramett. Some quick ruck ball here from Matt Sturgis. Bradley takes the tackle well, as Sturgis lines up for a box kick here. A little slip there from the Richmond receiver. And they're just going to play it a little bit tight and try and settle down a little bit so they can get a better angle on the kick. Big tackle there. And then Sturgis with a box kick here, looking for a good chase from Reese Henderson. Big tackle there from Reese. And then a penalty to Sedgley Tigers there for not rolling it away by Richmond. So it'll be good to see how far into the pitch they can take the possession here. Warren's going for touch, so good chance here for Sedgley to show the strength they've got in their forward pack and hopefully go for a rolling maul towards the try line. The penalty takes them to about 22 metres out, so maybe not quite as good as Warren would have liked, but it's a good platform to build on nevertheless. So Mallinson's going to throw the ball in now. Little bit of confusion over numbers there as a few Sedgley players dart out of the line as quick as they can. The referee's not happy with the distance between the two teams here. A missed throw there, leaving a lot of space in the back. A good kick clearance by Richmond, and Henderson's picked it up and kicks it into the centre. The bounce of the ball's been kind to Sedgley, giving them a little bit of time to press up. And O'Bonnor takes one down with him. And then there's a little bit of space here on the width if Richmond can use it. Ball just bounces past Charlie Wardle as he tries to regather. He clears it only as far as the halfway line into the 9, Luke Jones. And the hooker has got some space on the wing here. Luke Jones looking at the ball out quickly here. Sedgley have done well to drive Richmond back about 10 metres or so in the last few phases. And then just a knock on there, straight into a Sedgley player's face. So we're going to have a first scrum of the match today. On sort of about 30 metres, 40 metres out from the Sedgley try line. So the scrum battle will be an interesting one to see here, as Sedgley have had quite a strong scrum this season so far, not seen too many scrum penalties given away. So hopefully they can keep that going into this game and maybe put a little bit of dominance on. It's always good to get a first hit nice and strong. Good solid scrum. Ailes takes it off the back and is manhandled by the Richmond defence. Bradley takes it into contact, passes through one, and then is taken down by the second defender. And Serge is going to go for the box kick now. Good pressure from Henderson on Obona. Manages to tackle him just on the halfway line. Richmond decide they're not going anywhere, so they take the ball to boot. Collected well there by Warren Seals. A deep kick into the Richmond 22. They're going to run it back with Callum Grieve. A contestable kick here, Ollie Glass takes it. Sees a bit of space out wide and goes through a chip kick through. Got a little bit of kick tennis going on here as Warren takes the ball. Grieve clears, makes it as far as Reece Henderson. Goes for a little chip and chase through. Collects the ball, and then just knocks it on in the final opportunity there. Couldn't quite keep his hands on the ball and get it out to Charlie Wardle to go under the posts. So we'll have a scrum about 25 metres out right in front of Richmond's posts. Okay, the ref's unhappy with that setup in the scrum and has given a penalty to Richmond for essentially not holding their weight on the front line. So Dennett looks to take the ball out into touch. Ball goes out about on the 45-metre line. Just a heads up, the clock on our live stream might not be exactly right because we don't have the ability to start and stop the clock. So just it's sort of a rough guess, if anything. So it's mainly based on vibes more than anything else. So hopefully, if it goes over to 40 and the game's still going on, don't worry. I'll keep you updated on the time from when every now and again. A bit of a messy maul there. Richmond didn't gather cleanly and knock the ball on, so a pretty good turnaround there for Sedgley from trying to defend an attacking line-up to now having a scrum of their own. So far the scrum's been fairly even, not much give and take either way. Both have been stable. A scrum on the halfway gives a good opportunity for some back strike plays to take place. So we'll see what Scott Barrow and his team have got up their sleeves for this move. Surge put the ball in, but the scrum is not set right at all. The referee's not happy with that, so he's moving the scrum a little bit. Maybe that part of the pitch isn't quite whole. It's good. It'll be good to pay attention to these scrums here, because this level of scrumming can lead on to great things, as we've seen with the Sedgley former Sedgley player Asher Ford Akopu. He's on the bench for England versus Japan tomorrow, just down the road from where we are today. So it's always worth paying attention to who's playing in these games, because you might see them in the red rows not too long. Some strong tackles there from Richmond, forcing Sedgley back. Sturgis is going to take it out for a box kick with Henderson on the chase. A great take there by Chidera Obona, who is Richmond's top scorer this season with 5 tries. The ball went out into touch for a Richmond line-out, pretty much directly opposite the camera, so you should all get a very good view of this down the lens. Callum Torpey throws the ball in. It's taken cleanly this time by Richmond. Luke Jones with the box kick. Henderson's underneath it though. Oh, just ever so slightly misjudged that catch. Didn't go forwards though. And then Richmond went off their feet in the ruck, taking off the pressure there from Sedgley. A little bit of a mistake from Richmond there. They really could have put the pressure on and made the most of that very rare error from Reece Henderson. But it's ended up with a Sedgley penalty, and Seals is going to take it into touch, well into the Richmond 22. Made about 40 metres on that kick. That's pretty good going there. Line out in pretty much the exact same place as the previous one, except from this time it's essentially throw in. Burtwell takes the ball. A little bit of a looping pass there from Bradley off the back to Ollie Glass. Seals pokes it through. Taken well by Grieve. Little bit of handling with the boot there. And then we're back again for a line out in the same place as the last two. So we haven't really got anywhere out of the last sort of 4 minutes of play at all. clean take off the back by Birtwell this time. And then just a knock on there by Matt Law. Apologies to Matt Law, that wasn't him, it was Isaac Dean. Don't want that on your stats if it wasn't you. So now we've got a nice good look at a scrum up nice and close to us on the camera. What we're looking for in these scrums is you're looking for flat backs from the props. You start to see them bend, that's when you sort of know that the scrum's going to collapse. So just keep an eye out on the front rows here, and there's long arms as well. If you see the arms slightly start to bend, people are going to fall down. You can see here, look, good strong flat backs. Luke Jones sees a bit of space off the back. Wardle just about collects, but goes into touch. A little bit of a difficult kick to deal with there for Wardle. So Sedgley lost about 25 metres off that play. This will be the first time that Richmond have been into the to see what they can do here. Ball taken cleanly in the lineup. But a double throw there from the hooker, Callum Torpe. So free kick to Sedgley Park. Seals looks to clear and takes the ball to about 30 metres. Yeah, from the Richmond line. So a really great clearing kick there from Warren. Good line out take there for Richmond. Trying to build on this strong maul off the back. And then I believe the throw is not straight. The linesman. Oh, forward pass actually. Forward pass call from the linesman. So we'll have a Sedgley scrum now. So we've played 16 minutes here at the Richmond Athletic Ground. Still the scores are Richmond 0, Sedgley Park 0. One for the purists, you might say. And don't be fooled by the camera, we're not actually broadcasting in the middle of the night. If you check your clock, it is actually still 3:20. But the floodlights do have to be on because this is November in England. A little bit of a messy exit there from the scrum. Glass takes it in. Ball pops out the back. Sturgis does well to collect. Passes to Birtwell. Takes 3 men to take him down. Knock on there from Sedgley. There's a bit of space for Richmond on the wing here. Max Murphy takes the ball out of the back of the ruck. Then it clears to Henderson, who takes it cleanly this time. Punt through to Dennett, who again returns it. Just over the head of Ollie Glass. The bounce fools him a little bit, but he's got an opportunity to run in space now, and Andy Riley just goes for a crossfield kick. And Lewis Bradley gets over the ball there, but the referee says no penalty. Strong hit there from Callum Torpe. Jones fires it out the back of the ruck to Theo Bavacqua, whose name I've been practicing a few times today. bit stagnant here on the halfway line, not a lot of momentum either side. So Jones is going to go for the box kick. Try and put a little bit of pressure on Sedgley in the air. Seals has plenty of time to collect and kicks it straight to Abona, who's got a little bit of space to run in. Beats one, is taken down by Matt Law. And then Richmond come to clear out at the side. Sturgis tries to take quickly, but he's just a little bit too far away from the mark for the referee's liking. Really impressive defence there by Sedgley. Managed to push Richmond back plenty of times and then get a penalty out of it. Kick doesn't quite make touch, as it was saved quite admirably there by a Richmond winger. And then the kick ends up pretty much on the halfway line, so it is a Sedgley ball, so they do get the possession back, but Warren slightly overshot the kick there, and we didn't quite get the front foot ball that Sedgley would have wanted within the Richmond 22. So Malison starting today. At the moment, Ben Gregory is out, injured, with a neck muscle injury. We hope to see him back shortly with us. Burtwell collects well, takes it out to Sturgis, who stumbles a little bit, gives it to Glass, who's tackled well there. A big shot there from Richmond. Sturgis is now going to go to the boot. Henderson will be lining up for the chase here. Straight out there from Sturgis. Wind must have caught it. The wind is blowing here today at the Athletic Ground. If you might be able to see if we can zoom in on the flags, but it is quite a strong wind today. So it'll make all kicks at posts, kicks in the air, all very difficult and a little bit risky, which might sort of explain the 22 minutes in 0-0 scoreline so far. Torvey throws the ball in, and Richmond start to build a maul. This is the first time we've seen any sort of rolling maul in this game. Ramett was trying to make a nuisance of himself at the back of the maul, but the referee tells him to get out. Richmond try a cheeky chip through, which bounces through, and bounces off Reece Henderson into touch for a Richmond line out. The referee has just called time off for a water break by the looks of it. Just take a moment here while we're waiting for the teams to restart to recap what we've seen so far. So Richmond 0, Sedgley Park 0. We've not had any open play at all in this game. No real attacking opportunities. Most of the game has been played sort of between the 22s in midfield. So we're hoping now that Richmond are in the Sedgley Park 22 that they can put some sort of attack on to see what they've got in their back pocket and see if Sedgley can stop them. Ball fumbled there by Benson, then into the head of Sturgis, but knocked forward. So it's a scrum to Sedgley Tigers, giving them a chance if they can sort of get the platform off here and clear their lines. So it's very important to see how this scrum goes. So far, there's only been one scrum penalty in the match to Richmond. The rest of the scrums have all been fairly solid and not much to write home about. Just a quick shout out to anyone that is watching at Park Lane. I hope you enjoy the game so far, and afterwards stay in the clubhouse for a few pints and watch the Wales-South Africa match, which might be a little bit of a fun watch if you're a South African fan, or you might want to hide behind the sofa if you're a Wales fan. So the Sedgley lineup has been missing two of the players that are on the lineup today. That's 15, Charlie Wardle, and number 19, Will Wotton. It's because they've been on Premiership Cup duty with Sale Sharks, with Charlie coming off the bench twice, and Will starting once against Doncaster, and then on the bench versus Caldy. Both very promising young players, and we hope to see lots more of them in the future. Penalty there to Richmond for essentially the attacker rolling after he'd been tackled. It'd be interesting to see what happens here. This is probably our best chance to have the first points of the half go on. They're going to go for a tap and go. Big tackle there from Sedgley. Brings them down 10 metres from the try line. Sir just tried to get his hands on the ball there but couldn't quite manage it. Richmond knocking at the door of the Sedgley try line. Just quick off the back of the ruck, round again to the next forward. They're making some ground doing that. The ball's stolen here. There's a bit of space if Sedgley can use it. Great clearing kick from Seals. The chase is on. Lots of pressure there on Grieve. Law tackles him. Richmond managed to secure the ball through Ethan Benson. Deans manages to steal the ball at the back of the ruck. Incredible play there. Opportunity here for Sturgis. He kicks it through. Bounce the ball. It's all about the bounce here. Who does it favour? Difficult. And then Mallinson goes for a high tackle here. The referee's just going to consult with his assistant here. We might see a card protect. No. Referee's happy. His assistant is happy with the height of the tackle. After that brilliant chip through from Sturgis, great pressure. Richmond had to dot it down in their own in-goal line, giving Sedgley a 5-metre scrum. Something you don't have to see too much anymore. Now that the held up gets a drop goal from the a drop kick from the try line. This will be a great platform for Sedgley. First really attacking platform they've had. We're going to look for a big sort of Tom Ailes carry off the back of the scrum, I think. Just watch out for Charlie Wardle here. He's made his way around to the short side of the scrum while Richmond defenders haven't noticed. I think they've spotted it now. Tom Ailes goes right. Takes 3 to take him down. Sturgis, the space out wide if they can use it. Goes to Burtwell. Sturgis again. Off the feet there, so no knock on. Bradley takes it. Does well there, breaking through the tackle. Rylant. Burtwell. Ailes takes it in. Sturgis looks to get the ball out quickly. Mallinson. Connor James. Ailes again. The ball goes loose. Collected by Richmond. Good tackle there by Lewis Bradley. Chop tackle. And the ref calls time for a knock-on. So we're going to have a scrum to Richmond a few metres out from their own try line. I had a bit of an attacking moment there from Sedgley. Couldn't get past the sort of defensive fortress that Richmond have built here. Again, the lowest conceded points at home in the league, so it's going to be really tough to break that down and get any sort of try over the ball. But you did think if there was going to be an opportunity, that was there for the Tigers, and they didn't manage quite to take it. So the physios are off the field and the game's back on. We're currently at 29 minutes. Don't believe what the clock says on the camera, on the screen. We're at 29 minutes and it's Richmond 0, Sedgley Park 0. Richmond have a defensive scrum about 8 metres out from their own line. After a prolonged session of Sedgley attack that unfortunately was knocked on. Again, the referee gives a scrum penalty to Richmond for the same thing. So the Tigers prop Raymond is didn't manage to hold his bind there, and therefore the penalty went to the Richmond scrum. Richmond clear, just makes touch. Torpe throws the ball in. Taken well there by Richmond. Get that maul going. Burtwell's doing his best to disrupt. Riley under the kick there, takes it well. Steps one, steps two. Tackled there. Ethan Benson goes through the back of the ruck and takes down Sturgis there. You're going to go to a box kick again to clear the Sedgley line and get into some territory into the Richmond half. Jones takes well. Seals is taken down there illegally around the neck by Callum Grieve. A little bit of shouts there from the Richmond crowd, but definitely the right decision. Very much a high tackle, and Seals is going to keep the penalty into touch. Makes about 25 metres there, bringing us Sedgley Tigers into the Richmond half. We've got some changes in the front row here with for Tigers, with 16 Austin Downham coming on, and number 8 with Raymond and Raymond and Blanchard coming off. My apologies. Early change in the front row there from Barrow. Ball's taken well by James. Sturgis off the back. Law takes it in big hit there, straight on the head. Looks like he's had a knock to the head there. Head on head potentially, I was thinking. Be interesting to see what the referee does here, but we all wish Law the best. The referee's going to go over and talk to his assistant. So just to remind you, the score is 0-0 Richmond Sedgley Park. While we're waiting for the referee for the play to restart. Just give you a little bit of a roundup of the other 14-0 up. And then in the Premiership Cup, we'll see some good action where Doncaster have beaten Caldy 38-12. Currently half-time between 10. It's good to see him up and walking about. Seals is going to no one went off for that though. The referee deemed it accidental. Seals is going to go for the 3 points, so potentially we might see our first points of the game here 33 minutes in. It's very windy today and it's about 42 metres out, so it's quite a difficult kick for Seals. Law's running on with the tee. Just apologies again for any drops in the quality of the stream. We are broadcasting off my phone today, so it's a little bit of a different setup to usual. As Seals lines up the kick. A little bit of a missed kick there. And the ball doesn't make it to the try line. Lots of shouts for high tackle from the Richmond crowd. Seem to be unhappy about the way the referee is deciding what is and isn't a high tackle today. So the score remains Richmond 0, Sedgley Park 0. Mallinson takes the ball in. Sturgis looks clear off the back on the box kick. Ball bounces in front of Henson, but he can't take it. A good carving run through there by Grieve. Got the crowd excited there. Bradley's got himself over that ball, but taken off it very quickly. Clearance there by Grieve, taken by his opposite number 15, Charlie Wardle, who kicks deep into space. There's plenty of space there. Henderson and Seals both chasing as the ball rolls into touch by Richmond. That is an incredible turn of possession there, making about 40 metres, Charlie Wardle. He's a real bright spark, Charlie Wardle. Fantastic player. I expect to see him a lot more this season and then doing very well in the next few years to come. Mallinson with the ball to Burtwell. Bradley takes it off the back. Through to Glass. Law takes it in, is tackled well. Glass gets the ball out to Seals. Seals takes it, pop pass through to Henderson. Downham takes it in. There's space on the wing here. Seals takes it himself. Breaks one tackle. Almost breaks a third. Riley had space on the wing there. That was a high tackle. Advantage to Sedgley Tigers. Mallinson tries the chip through from the hooker. Bit of a rogue choice there. See what Tigers decide to do here. If they go for the 3 points, or try and push it into the corner for a line out. They're going to Warren Seals is going to kick it into the corner. Sedgley obviously think they've got the advantage in the maul and can push this over for the first try of the game. Referee calls time off as number 5 for Richmond. Max Murphy is down injured. We've seen quite a few high tackles in this game from Richmond so far. I think that's their 4th penalty for high tackles in this game. Quite a concerning trend from them. The coach, Powell, will be giving them a little bit of grief, I reckon, at half-time, and get their tackles lower down and not give away these penalties. We're now on 38 minutes with Richmond 0, Sedgley Park 0. So here is the best chance that Sedgley Park have had all game so far. Mallinson's going to throw it into the line out 5 metres from the Richmond try line. As we see a replacement for Richmond with number 5 coming off and number 18, George Nugent, coming on. Ailes takes the ball in. Bradley takes it at the back. Mallinson's now got it. They're pushing towards the try line here. Sedgley are making ground. 2 metres out now. Richmond have come through the centre well, though. Referee tells them to go back. Mallinson's still got the ball at the back here. Sturgis has got his hands on it. Is he going to take it wide? He's sucked in. Now we've got Glass on. Advantage the referee's given there for collapsing them all. So Sedgley are going to have another chance at it. Looks like it's number 8 for Richmond that collapsed it there. Sam Pym. Mallinson's going to throw the ball in again, so another chance here on the 5 metre line. Ailes takes it again. Feeds it through to Mallinson. The maul's going here. We've got a bit of progress. Richmond have done well there to disrupt it, though. And the referee calls the ball unplayable to a Richmond scrum on the 5 metre line. So the score remains 0-0. Had a very good opportunity there for Sedgley, but just couldn't quite take it from some excellent maul defence by Richmond. You can see how it can go either way. One maul, you ping for bringing it down. The next one, you do great and manage to hold it up and steal the ball. So this is Richmond's 3rd scrum defensive scrum within their own 22. The last two have both ended up with penalties to Richmond, so we'll see how this one goes. Bradley's over the ball there. Not on the ball though, the referee says. Bavacqua takes the ball through. Luke Jones is, I think, going to box kick here to clear his lines. Good pressure there from Malison. Riley is under the ball. Takes it well under big pressure there from Cecil. Crawling through the ruck there by Benson. We're now on half-time, so this will be the last play of the game, I believe. That is if the stadium clock is to be trusted. And Warren's going to take, Seals are going to take the 3 points, the attempt at the 3 points here to take essentially in at half-time in the lead, hopefully. After the last kick, Seals will be hoping that it goes a little bit better. And I'm sure he won't let it happen again. Sturgis is going to help prop up the ball this time. Seals steadies himself. And that kick goes through the posts. Brilliant from Seals, managed to calm his nerves down after his last kick, and that is half-time. A classic, one for all the ages. It'll go down in the history books as Richmond 0, Sedgley Park 3 at half-time. A good first half there. Great from Sedgley to be out in front. Not a lot of attacking from either side. Very mucky game, lots of drop balls, lots of kicking, lots of plays in the midfield. We're hoping for a little bit more in the second half. But what more can you ask for? Sedgley Park are in the lead, 3-0 at half-time. Let's take that in. And it doesn't matter by how many points you win by, does it? As long as you win by 1. So 3 is pretty good for now. And we'll see you again in the second half. And we're back here at the Richmond Athletic Ground for the second half of this very important clash between Richmond and Sedgley Park. The first half was a bit of a slow one, with Sedgley just taking 3 points in the final minute of the second half, leaving the score 3-0. But the headline news of half-time came from Rotherham, where Rotherham had beaten Rams 21-14, meaning now that if Richmond win this game, they'll go top of the table. And I'm sure the coach has given that news to the players, so they'll be fired up. So Sedgley will have to be on top form in this second half. Again, apologies for any lack of quality in the picture. We are streaming in the extreme weather, lots of rain. The phone signal isn't great, and we're in a bit of a concrete dome here. So Richmond kicking off through Dennett. Ball taken in there. Sturgis getting ready to clear his lines here. A low box kick through. Out. Very good clearance there into the Richmond half. The wind is really blowing here now. It's very difficult to tell which way the wind's blowing because it's changing all the time. So at the moment, Sedgley are playing into the wind, which might make things a little bit more difficult, but that's always likely to change because every time I look at the flags, the wind is blowing in a different direction. An early jump there from Sedgley, giving Richmond the free kick at the line out. Dennett's going to kick the ball high here for a chase. It's going straight down into Seals. Seals catches, manages to offload to Wardle. And Wardle has charged down, and the ball goes out. Debate here whether that was a try or not there from the charge down by O'Bonnor. I think the ball went out dead, but the referee is going to ask his assistant and what they thought. Time off. He's bringing the captains in to let them know what has happened. So Burtwell and Monson talk about it here. He gives a penalty for a push on the chasing defender. So Sedgley now have the chance to clear their line. Seals is going to kick it up the touchline. The wind, you could see there, really caught that ball there. Almost stopped dead in midair. Mallinson to throw in here. Sedgley going for a four-man line out. So the ball's going to Burtwell. Richmond did their best to disrupt that. Ailes takes it in. Tackled well there by Richmond. And Sturgis sets to clear the lines. Good box kick there, good chase from Henderson. Just blocked by some Richmond players. We now have number 20 on for Richmond. Alex Schwartz. Looks like he's playing at scrum half. So that will mean that Luke Jones, the captain for Richmond, has come off. Just a penalty there for Richmond for a high tackle. And Richmond opt to go for the sticks. Very difficult kick here for Grieve. He's the second highest point scorer in the league so far, though. So if anyone's going to get it, it will be him. Second highest point scorer in the league behind Richard Hayes of Rotherham, who has just led his team to victory against Rams. Grieve is going to take the kick. He's set the ball nice and low there on the kicking tee. Doesn't have anyone backing him up, doesn't have a friend like Seals does in Sturgis to hold the ball for him. He's got the distance. Has he got the angle? No, it just fades wide. So the score remains 44 minutes in. Richmond 0, Sedgley Park 3. Come on, Tigers, let's take this home. Seals clears to the halfway line. Richmond look to attack with some intent here. Taken down well by Ailes and Glass. Backwiver takes the ball out. Looked like a high tackle there, and the ref has given advantage there to Richmond in a much more kickable position than the last one. Ailes comes through well and takes Luke Jones. But penalty there for a high tackle. I would imagine that they're going to go for the post again, confirmed by the referee there. So, again, just a reminder that the clock on the screen might not be correct, because we don't have the ability to start or stop the clock. It also appears that Richmond also seem to lack that ability as well. We're not sure, so I'll try and keep you up to date as much as I can on what the time is. So Greaves here looking to extend his points tally for the season. He's currently on 109 points, made out of 2 tries, and the rest are all kicks. So 99 points off the boot so far this season. Greaves takes the kick. It's got the distance. Wide again, just of the other side of the post this time. Too far left first time, too far right the second time. I reckon I'll get the next one straight through the middle. Gives Seals the opportunity to clear the lines from a 22 dropout here. Good chase there from Burtwell, putting good pressure on the Richmond line, and they knock the ball on for a scrum. Brilliant play there by Sedgley. Great line speed, taking the pressure off themselves and giving themselves a good opportunity to try and stamp themselves in the second half. So far, it's the last 7 minutes. It's been all Richmond. It'd be good to see some Sedgley Park. Just a substitution for Richmond in the front row. Callum Torpey, number 2, has been replaced by Will Goffey, number 16. So we'll see how the brand new hooker does up against the challenge of the Sedgley scrum straight away. I always found it was difficult going straight into scrum off cold. We'll see how Will Goffey deals with it. An early engagement there from Richmond, so Sedgley have a free kick and give Seals another chance to kick the ball even further down the field. I imagine he'll kick it high and wide for Henderson to chase. A knock on there, a miscatch there from Greaves. So a Sedgley scrum. They keep making their way up the field. That's first 22, then 40 metres, and now on the opposition 22. So they're doing well here, making their way up the pitch. Not the quickest way to make your way up the pitch, constant scrums, but they're doing it. We'll see if this scrum manages to get to completion, unlike the last one. look at the lineup here. Positioned very well to take this ball quite flat and high up to the line, or it'll go through Warren back through the backs with Henderson on the wing, who's the top try scorer in the league with 12 tries. Bit of a messy clear the ball. Bradley's managed to get himself over the ball and has won a penalty right in front of the posts. It'll be interesting to see if Warren goes for the point or if Seals kicks for the touch. The referee has signalled that it will be a kick-out goal. So to double their points here and double the points for the whole match. We're currently 49 minutes in and the score is Richmond 0, Sedgley Park 3. The dynamic 9 and 10 duo of Seals and Sturgis working together here to get this penalty kick over. Well placed this kick for Seals. Just the wind that might scupper him here. It's got the distance and it's through the middle, bisects the posts. So Seals doubles the Sedgley Park lead to 6-0. We are 50 minutes in. And Sedgley Park are 6 points in the lead. The only 6 points we've seen so far. Dennett kicks long. Taken. Sturgis sets up for the box kick again. Good chase there from Henderson, putting pressure on Richmond. Managed to bring them down just inside their own half. Glass and Downham working well there together to bring the player down. And it goes for a high kick wide. Wardle spills the ball, but manages to make it go backwards and gather. Lots of pressure on from Richmond there on the ruck, but Sedgley managed to secure possession of the ball. Just shows you how wet and windy the conditions are here, that the fullbacks are struggling to keep control of possession. Henderson's chased this one well. Lots of shouts of offside there from Richmond, but the referee doesn't agree. Luke Jones, the 9, takes the ball out the back. Lots of complaining to the referee here from both the Richmond fans and players. He doesn't seem to be impacted at it at all. Good attacking line there from Benson. Well tackled by Sedgley. Does well, breaks through. Murphy takes it in the corner, pass offloads it to Murphy. Did a few players on the outside, the big second row, and then managed to offload just in time to Lewis Dennett to go over in the corner, making the score Richmond 5, Sedgley Park 6. Apologies to the try scorer there. It was actually number 13, James Langston, not number 10, Lewis Dennett. The game has burst into life here now. The first bit of attacking, first bit of Sedgley defence error, making a bit of space on the wing for Richmond as they managed to go over through the good power play of the forwards. Grieve is going to try and take this kick now. So far he's missed all of his kicks. It's quite difficult, it's quite far out on the wing. And behind him you can see how wild the flag is going in the wind. That's good. Goes straight through the middle. I told you, the first one to the left, second one to the right, third down the middle. So that makes the score now, after 56 minutes, Richmond 7, Sedgley Park 6. On the back of that, Sedgley are making some substitutions. Captain Matt Riley comes on for Ollie Glass, and James O'Connor has come on. James O'Connell, sorry, not James O'Connor, has come on. For his Sedgley Tigers debut, I believe. Okay, it'd be good to see how Sedgley bounce back from that. It'd be important that they don't let their heads drop and they keep playing the game, the possession and territory game that they were before. That was working so well for them. Deep clearance over the back three of Sedgley there. Ailes is taking it in. He's tackled. Not brought down though. Sturgis calls for a bit of support. As O'Connell takes it in. Time to clear the lines. Henderson chases this one. Well taken by Grieve for Richmond. Jones spots a bit of space around the fringes and makes a few metres. Some good phase running here for Richmond, trying to hit the tired defenders on the outside. It's been a very difficult game for defence so far. Always sucks a lot of energy out if you're making tackle after tackle after tackle. So there might be a few dog legs on the wing here, and this is what they look to take place. And then a knock on there by Sedgley. Debate whether it was an intentional knock on or not, so we'll see what the referee decides here. Did look a little bit like a slap down to me, but he's talking to the Richmond captain. And he's given Sturgis a yellow card. Or is it Andy Riley? Yeah. Yellow card for Andy Riley there for an intentional knock-on. Little break in play while says you have a little bit of a conference to decide what to do next. And Dennett is going to go with a punt to the line out to see what territory they can gain. Kicks it well, about 15 metres out from the try line. It's been all Richmond really in this second half. the only time it's been in Richmond's own half. Sedgley have come away with points though, which is promising. Ball taken well in the line out, and the maul sets up nicely. They've got the maul rolling now. It looks like it's going to be very difficult to stop, and it is, and it goes over the line. Try for Richmond, their second try of the game. Will Goffey at the back of the maul there, taking the second try for Richmond. Very impressive driving maul there. Very difficult to stop. Whatever the coach Rob Powell has said to them in half time really has seemed to have riled them up, and they have seemed to play with a bit more impetus and strength. I wonder if it's that score that we got from Rotherham showing that if Richmond win today, they will go top of the table. Richmond looking to gain promotion back to the Championship to join their roommates, London Scottish, who share this stadium, who are currently in the Championship at the moment. Grieve looking to take this kick. The score at the moment, Richmond 12, Sedgley Park 6, with 60 minutes so far on the clock. We've seen some changes on the Sedgley end with number 19 Will Wootton coming on, and number 3 Raymond coming back on. Grieve gets the conversion, taking the score to Richmond 14, Sedgley Tigers 6. Sturgis has come off for Wootton. And Downham has come off. Rylance has come off for Raymond. A little bit of a juggle there from the receiver. Manages to hold on to possession though, as Jones looks to clear it from the back of the ruck. Ailes takes the ball, just to run into defenders, manages to beat one but is taken down by the second. O'Connell takes the ball, makes a step. Wootton looks to impart a bit more pace into the game for Sedgley now that they're chasing the game rather than in control. Box kick goes straight up in the air, but is recovered by Sedgley. Wootton again puts a punt in, this time goes a little bit further. Pressure on Richmond in their 22. Ball almost bounces over Wootton. Unlucky bounce there, puts a lot of pressure on the ball carrier. The rain is really hitting hard now. The ball will be very slippy to hold. Straight out there by Jones. The wind must have caught it, giving Sedgley a line out in a very good position just outside Richmond's 22. Again, apologies for any poor camera quality, just we've got a little bit of problems with our data connection here, so if we do have any issues, I apologise in advance for that. I've been told that you can see how strong the rain is on the screen. You can see for yourself there are a few brave souls stood on the touchline on the other side, rather than me, to be honest. As O'Connell throws into the line out. Over the top there, collected by Richmond, a bit of a missed throw. Kick finds some space. Henderson collects. A big kick and a bounce, and then kicked out by Richmond number 9, Luke Jones, for a Sedgley line out. 45 metres into their own half. Apologies, Mallinson's still on the pitch and taking the throws. O'Connell must be playing in a different position. And then we've just had another swap in the front row with Blanchard coming on for Downham. Taken well by Ailes, and Mallinson takes the ball at the back of the maul. And we're seeing a little bit of a drive coming on here. Ball stolen there by Richmond number 18, George Nugent, and the chase is on. Who will get there first? Henderson, Wardle. Wardle collects. It almost tackled, steps one, and then is brought down just outside the try line. Sedgley do well to recycle possession here. Raymond takes the ball in. And then a charge down on the clearance kick, but because it goes out of bounds, it will be a 22 dropout for Sedgley. .66 minutes played, Richmond 14, Sedgley Park 6. Very close game so far. Not a lot of give either way, though you do have to say Richmond have been much better, looked a lot livelier in attack. Jones hits it up high. Henderson put under a lot of pressure. Wardle collects and brought down, but high. Giving Sedgley Tigers the penalty just outside their own 22. Seals' kick doesn't find touch again. So Greer kicks it straight back to him, but the bounce doesn't work well, so Wardle takes it. The bounce almost worked perfectly there for Wootton. There was a touch in the air. So pretty much the same as they would have got if Seals' kick had gone into touch, with a line out on the halfway line. Ball stolen there by number 4 for Richmond. Monson. Not rolling away in the tackle there, Matt Riley, so penalty given against him. Game has started to slip a little bit away from Sedgley here, so they need to just get a little bit of composure on the board and pull themselves back into it. You can really see the rain now and the way the wind is blowing. An incredible kick there, putting Richmond 5 metres out. You can't really get a kick for touch much better than that. Makes about 50 metres. Taken in well by Richmond. That rolling maul that we saw score earlier on is moving well, but it has been slightly slowed down, but it's still rolling. And there's been a breakaway, and he's over, but is he held up? The ref is checking, and he says, held up. Incredible defence there by the Tigers, managing to hold off that driving maul that proved so successful earlier on. Looks like Tom Ailes is at the bottom of that, and Burtwell. Wotton clears. Taken in by Greer. Knock on there. There's a bit of space here for the Tigers, and then Tigers knock it on as well. And the referee's been tackled by Richmond number 18. So we'll have a scrum. With 10 minutes to go, the score is Richmond 14, Sedgley Park 6. If the scores would stay the same, that would take Richmond to top of the league. Richmond bring on 2 substitutions. They bring on their the duo of Alex's, Alex O'Meara and Alex Schwartz at 19 and 20. Just wait to see who's come off. Number 14 for Richmond, Frank McMillan, has come off. And number 9, Luke Jones, the captain, who's hobbling off a little bit there. Round of applause from the crowd for those two. Game's still in the balance here, only 8 points in it at the moment. So it could still go either way with 9 minutes left to go. As Wotton looks to put the ball into this scrum, hoping for a strong push there from the Sedgley front row. Wotton feeds the ball through. Scrum starts going backwards, but Ailes takes it off the top. Potential for a penalty there, but Sedgley do well to keep hold of the ball. Raymond takes it in, tackled hard there. Wotton's going to kick to clear. Good chase here by Riley, who's back on the pitch after his yellow card period. Schwartz here going for a box kick. Riley takes. Another box kick here from Wotton. It's gone straight out. So that'll be a Richmond line out from where it was kicked. Not what we need here. As we're approaching the end of the match, we've got about 6.5 minutes left on the clock. Starting to see Richmond sort of get a bit of confidence in themselves, and they definitely feel like they're on top. Though that line-out ball, not straight, but the referee has not blown up for it. Richmond roll on through. Great push there. Number 12, Sam Dardis, takes it in to a tackle. Schwartz out to Dennett. Little kick through there from Schwartz, collected by Wootton, who breaks the tackle of one and is taken down by the second, just within his own 22. Late hit there. Charlie Wardle takes it, advantage of the space, manages to beat two defenders. Knock on, however, so we'll go back to the previous advantage for a scrum within the Sedgley 22. With 5 minutes left in the game in sunny Richmond, so the pitch does seem to be waterlogged, so it's difficult to have a strong scrum here. Coming towards the end of the match though, so really need to do something sooner rather than later. You do feel like if anything is going to happen, it's going to happen through this exciting Sedgley backline with Wootton, Wardle and Henderson and the two Rileys, with Seals pulling the strings. Ailes takes it through, makes 10 metres on the blind side. Riley chases the ball down well, forces a drop ball, but it didn't go forward, so Abona takes it. They spread it wide through number 12. Bit of space on the wing here if they're quick. Schwartz takes it through, beats one. The ball's ripped in the tackle there by Wootton. Well played by him. Riley looks to gather the loose ball, gives it on to his brother, who's in a little bit of space. And we're going back to the earlier knock-on. Ailes sprints over thinking it's a penalty, looking to take it quickly, but it wasn't. So he's now dropped the ball and having a little bit of a rest after sprinting across the pitch to try and take the quick tap.
Make sure to head to the Murray Judd Room full time after this match to hear Nelson Toad, singer-songwriter Alfie Osborne, and continue the celebrations rolling throughout the main stands.
Matt Glass has come on for as the time continues to tick down. Really need to get on with this scrum here. In the bitterly cold Richmond ground here, Wootton feeds the ball in. Scrum starts to go backwards though. Ball spits out the side, Wootton clears. Finds a bit of space. Ball bounces, Greer takes it, punts it. The bounce rolls and keeps rolling. Wootton takes it kicks it and clears it to just within his own half. I'd like to thank you all for watching with us today. Much appreciated. You can always subscribe to us on YouTube if you wish to see more of our coverage. We try to cover every single home game and then as many away games as we can. We also have interviews and highlights of the game afterwards, so plenty to see on our YouTube channel. And it's a penalty there for coming in at the side there for Sedgley. So that will bring us towards the end of the game. So it's currently 79 minutes in, if the scoreboard clock is to be believed, which I'm not sure it is, so we might still have a few minutes to be played. As Dennett kicks to the corner. Ref puts the time off as Ailes is getting his fingers bandaged up here. Time back on, and Greer looks to take the kick to touch. Doesn't take it very far. Do you feel like this might be one of the last plays of the game, with Goffey throwing into the line out? Messy ball there, but taken by Richmond. Ailes almost got his hands on it. Monson takes it in. Schwartz is digging in there, trying to get the ball, just manages it. Darts around the side of the tackle. Advantage to Richmond here. Abona takes it. Great offload to the number 7 and manages to power over through the tackle of Charlie Wardle. And that will be that for the game, with Richmond scoring their 3rd try of the game. Toby Cecil, the 2nd try of the season for him. And that will confirm their position, Richmond at the top of the table going into this week, at the end of this weekend, following Rams' defeat to Rotherham earlier today. The second half has had a lot more excitement in than the first. Depends on what sort of fan you are, though. As a Sedgley fan, not been as good as the first half. But plenty to write home about. Some good defence in the first half, lots of good game management. But it has been here. Richmond have taken the game by the scruff of the neck. And Greer converts to the try, and that is that. So the final score here at the Richmond Athletic Ground: Richmond 21, Sedgley Tigers 6. Thank you for joining us on this live stream. We hope to see you soon, and I hope you're all well and enjoy the rest of the good rugby we have on this weekend. And our next home game for Sedgley Tigers is against Rosling Park, and we'll be there, so you'll be able to watch us or come and join us at Park Lane for that. And then the next game for Richmond will be a top of the table clash versus Rams in Reading, so that will also be a very important game to see how the table lines out. But once again, thank you for joining us, and that is it for us here on this live stream.